African Championship earlier this year. Look at that. Keeley made a lot of time up on Sanders in transition.
Yeah, sure did, and then he's going to put his watch on there so that he can keep an eye on everything there. So Cam Worth, first time as an amateur, first time as a pro. So here he goes. Lionel Sanders now. He is attacking that run course, just strapping his watch on as well. So it's interesting to note that these guys are definitely going to be running toward their heart rates and, absolutely, just checking on their own conditions and not something else. So that's really good to see because, just starting out of this run course, there is a tendency to go out a little bit too hard. But right now, Sanders is establishing himself into a very nice rhythm at the moment, making sure that everything's comfortable. He's got his number there. He's got his a nice little fuel belt strapped on there. But Cam Worth, just there you go. He's got his chest pointed forward, head chin pointed down, and just going along nicely. The two-time defending champion, Jan Frodeno, just running out there, just getting that number strapped on and making sure that he gets comfortable as he heads out and tries to get after that three-peat today.
Yes, and we're just looking at all kinds of incredible times here as we see Jan Frodeno coming out under 3 minutes. These deficits are nothing. James Kunema, a guy we said has hit that fourth place mark before. So what about the chasers? Frodeno, Kunema, Frommel, Hoffman, they were all in the 4:21 to 4:22 range, 7 to 9 minutes faster than they were last year. This course has set themselves up for a good ride, but what does that tell me immediately? Ouch, they're going to have to pay for that on the run because it's still a balance of three sports, swim, bike, run. What can you do when you ride 4:14? You have to turn around and pound out a solid marathon. There's James Kunema, a little bit more time in transition, but this beast has got the wheels. I mean, we've seen him run 1:10 half marathons off the bike, and he's on a nice tear in 2017.
Yep, looks good running out as well. So, our top, 8 athletes are out there onto the course at the moment. So we can see that Cameron Worth and Lionel Sanders, Sebastian Kindley have all broken the race record today on the bike course there. Jan Frodeno was in at a 4:21 flat. James Kunema at a 4:21.03. Niels Fromhold at 4:21.46. And there we go. We have Ben Hoffman, one of our top USA athletes with Tim O'Donnell, heading out onto the run course right now. So Ben Hoffman just heading out. Here we go down Hualalai Road. So we're approaching that first mile on the run course. So Cam Worth from Australia is still leading out there as Timothy O'Donnell right on cue. Just comes in off the bike.
Timothy O'Donnell taking down the zip, going to change out clothes, and I think this is a wise maneuver. The fabric that you use, the aero fabric on the bike, not always what you want strapped to your body in the run. I know you can wet it and cool it, but a humid environment, often more moisture on the body is not necessarily good. It's great on the bike with the cooling breeze, but I have to say, looking to see less clothing on the run, I just think that's the way to go. We'll have to just throw that out there. Let's look at a couple things, though, as we see Tim O'Donnell come off the bike, and we kind of just dive in. Hualalai Road, what you just said, for viewers back home trying to orient, that road gets utilized 3 times. This is you do a small loop to get onto Elite Drive, where Cameron Worth is currently running. Once on Elite Drive, you run to the 8K point, 5 miles out, turn around at the little blue church, St. Peter's. When you turn at that church, you're going to backtrack all the way back into town. You've got 2 challenging hills, one that's a moderate hill, but I feel like those rollers are challenging in this race. Once you cover that, you're approximately 15 kilometers in, and you have to take a right turn and head right up Palani Drive. Palani Drive, you crest out, and then the true racing begins out on the Queen K, Greg.
This is a great area for the athletes. As a matter of fact, sometimes they get too much adrenaline and run very quickly through this area. A lot of spectators gather on Elite Drive down here at this particular part of the course at the 1 mile mark into it. Cameron is now approaching a little bit of a grind uphill. After that, he'll go down the other side at a little bit of a flat. Then he'll have a second grind uphill before the rest of it will remain flat all the way out to St. Peter's Church at the 5 mile mark. Once they hit that 5 mile mark, they will retrace their steps back along Elite Drive. But right now, this is excitement. This is adrenaline, and this is also where the race starts. Cameron Worth, first off the bike at a 5:11, 1:01 total time. Lionel Sander at 1:14 down. Sebastian Kienle, Jan Frodeno, and James Cunnama all within 3 minutes and 37 seconds of our leader.
That's the Envy leaderboard. We'll keep checking in on that as you lose orientation. But right here, Tim O'Donnell going to the svelte running singlet. I love the look here. That's great. He's got a USA theme, but it's a subtle white on gray. But T.O., understated, confident and humble. That's what he says he stays, racing for his young daughter, Isabel, only 2 months old. Tim O'Donnell's another one that has the wheels to run well. It's a matter of can he deliver well under well under 250 to get himself where he wants to be, which is on that podium. A lot of racing to be done, and as you scroll through this list of characters that have come off the bike, you can't help but say who really historically has the goods in this race on the run, and that's Jan Frodeno and Sebastian Kienle. No one else has really shown that yet.
Okay, so Lucy Charles is leading the charge here, the Red Bull athlete, just making her way back in toward town here. It's going to be a great day for her as well. Lucy has led all the way from the start of the race today, from 6:35 when the men got started, from 6:40 when the women's got started. They were only just 5 minutes after the men. She overtook quite a few of the men pros and now has found herself on the front of this race ever since that moment. So Lucy Charles is in control of this race at the moment. Daniela Reef is still sitting, at the same sort of, time back from Lucy Charles as the early part. So Lucy is doing a fantastic job of it, in her debut as a pro in this field here. So Morris Stein just getting off the bike there. We could just see a moment ago. Now we've got a few other athletes just coming in off the bikes as well. That was David McNamee, one of our good riders. And here is our swim leader just getting off, Josh Amberger from Australia. So he's lost a little bit of time on the bike today.
That's right. Excellent call there. I could absolutely say I could sure use eat a nice, delicious cheeseburger. Wait a minute, cheeseburger, hamburger. Anyway, there we go. That's a great. Every time I say that, I get hungry. No, but Josh Amberger, he went for it on the swim. He went from the bike. He obviously paid for that price. But you know what? He's still in contention. He's under 9 minutes down, and that's a great spot to be. Looking here at Cameron Worth, he's looking over his shoulder. This is a nervous man. I mean, it's not like he shouldn't be nervous.
It's nervous just a matter of time, though, Michael. And, he shouldn't have to worry about looking over his shoulder at the moment because what he needs to concentrate is just getting into his rhythm. Now, what Cameron did over the last 8 months was astonishing. He's established himself as one of the guys now. He's got an Ironman victory under his belt. But what he did is he went away and he started learning about running. Over the last couple of months, he's put about 20 centimetres onto the length of his stride, and he's been working meticulously about videotaping himself and working very hard on his style and efficiency right now. And what he's done is he's created a really nice run style for himself, but he's worked really, really hard at it.
That's great. And we know down at transition there's a lot of action unfolding. Love to hear what Charlie and Matt are seeing on the ground, guys. Yeah, that's right. We love to hear from Matt and Charlie down on transition 2.
Yeah, we're just down here at transition 2. There was a bit of kerfuffle going on, making sure that we were catching the cyclists, and they're just putting the fencing back. I don't know whether you can actually see us now. Me and Matt are down here. Have you got us? You all right there, Matt?
Yeah, we're okay. A little bit of a hassle, but everybody's good.
I think me and Matt just basically jumped over the fence from transition 2.
So what are you seeing here, Charlie? What's grabbing your attention right now?
Firstly, I think the volunteers are just amazing, and it was so interesting, I think, to see the top 10 as well. I mean, I think the bike course record was broken by a crazy amount. I think it was like by over 4 minutes.
Yeah, if it tells you anything, I think the previous bike course record had another athlete, actually my brother, within 20 seconds of him, and then a lot of athletes within a minute or so. So to break a bike course record by 5 minutes, it's telling of the bike speed, but also I think there's going to be some maybe issues for some athletes on the run after that kind of bike ride.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I think it was a 10-year-old record by Statler, but Worth was so fast. How's that going to affect him out on course? Because I don't think he's ran like a sub-3 marathon.
No, he hasn't, and I mean that's a hard way to start your first white Ironman, but bravo to him for getting after it, and maybe he knows something that we don't, but he's got a lot of great athletes running behind him, and as I see some more athletes come out of transition right now, of note, Ferdino looked amazing, Ben Hoffman looked really, really good, as did some athletes coming out a little bit further behind. Terenzo Bozzone, Bart Arnouts, and Patrick Lange looked amazing, so there was some gaps on the bike, but we're really, we say we run for dough, and we're about to run for dough here with 26.2 miles to go.
Yeah, you're right. The gap wasn't too much at all. What about Sanders? Because at the moment, I mean, I don't want to kind of predict things or push things too much, but we're seeing these records tumble. The conditions are actually really good. I know I mentioned it a bit earlier, but if he runs a 2:47 roundabout marathon, he could get sub-8.
Yeah, absolutely, and within him are a lot of other athletes that have more experience on this course, so maybe a little bit more likely to be able to pull that off. So obviously Sanders has a great opportunity to do so, but Sebastian Kienle's been here many, many times. Jan Frodeno's been here a few times, won a few times, so there is an opportunity for a course record to go down here that Craig Alexander holds, but to break an 8-hour mark in Hawaii would be unreal.
And you mentioned like fast runners. I know that Ben Hoffman's a bit of a dark horse, and he's an extremely fast runner out there on course. What can we expect from him?
Yeah, I mean, he's been second here before. He's been fourth here last year, so he definitely expects something good from Ben. But he's looking for the win, and he's going to need to be 242, 244. And the way he ran out, how calm he was, and how comfortable his stride was, I bet he's got a 245 in him.
Let's go back to Frodeno just for a second. Obviously, he is the defending champion. You know, you said that he ran out, and we both said, right, how does he look? How does he look? He looks so good. Do you think he's on for that title?
Yeah, I think right now it's anybody in that top 4 guys have a chance. Wirth just got passed by Lionel Sanders, we heard on course, so anybody's game. Money's probably on Frodo, but a lot of guys still up for the chance at a victory here today.
Okay, well, we're now going to wait for the women to come in. The volunteers doing an absolutely amazing job catching those bikes.
Thank you very much. That's it. I appreciate it, and I love to look at a runner that's powerful as Lionel Sanders. In as much as I enjoy the beauty of Jan Frodeno's stride, this is a power punch right here. He's got a lower shuffle type stride rate. He's coming downhill right now. He's crested the hill.